Hey everyone, welcome to this week's reading. My name is Stephanie. Welcome if this is your first time joining me here on YouTube. This week I will be doing a reading for the week of July 17th through the 23rd, 2022. And each week I bring you 3 keywords I have channeled from the Akashic Records while I am working in the records each week, sort of as a guiding, overarching collective energy to help us through the coming week, as well as some crystal energy and some oracle card energy. So this week, we'll be using Healing Crystals deck number 1 for our crystal energy. We will be using the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle for our Sunday energy. And then for the remainder of the week, we will use the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle. Beautiful decks, all of them. So let's talk first about the 3 keywords that I channeled from the Akashic Records. This week, the words that came out were simplify, conserve, and concise. Simplify, conserve, concise. So as usual, I said, can I get some more information, please? So simplify was pretty much just the dictionary definition of simplify. It said to make things easier to understand. So the message I'm getting this week overall is really about communication. And it has been for a while about not just communication with others, though that is really important, but also how we speak to ourselves. How are we telling old stories, or do we want to move into that kind of new paradigm we've shifted into, the one we've been creating, the seeds we've been planting? If we want to move into that, we certainly can't be telling the old stories. So making sure you're simplifying your thoughts. And this goes right into the concise energy, the 3rd keyword, making sure your thoughts are clear, making sure your communication is clear. If you're writing an email and it has 27 paragraphs, maybe go through it and cut it down to 3. Knowing that people can't absorb, everybody's in this kind of time where we're all going through a shift, and some people are not as self-aware, some people are not as spiritually aware. So kind of being very mindful of your communication that you put out, as well as that internal communication. So simplify, make it easier to understand. Conserve is to kind of keep something safe. So, do you need to be putting all of your thoughts out there? Or do you only want to put the ones out there that you want to keep safe, that you want to grow, that you want to come to fruition in the future? So keeping that communication safe, conserving, holding back the things you don't want to grow, being mindful of your communication, and being the 3rd keyword, being concise, being clear in that communication. And the message I keep getting is what you're putting out, but also the stories you're telling yourself, that internal communication. So simplify, conserve, concise. And then our crystal energy for this week is going to be the green calcite. Calcites are super soothing. So I like that this comes up when we're being asked to simplify and conserve, because that could, for some of you, also be conserve energy. Be mindful of what you're putting out, what you're expending, energetically, physically, whatever type of energy that may resonate for some of you this week. Green calcite, all the calcites, super soothing. Green calcite, especially connected to the heart chakra, communication, dealing with others, but also how we talk to ourselves, right? Being compassionate and kind to ourselves. So emotional balance, healing, and release, the 3 keywords for the green calcite. And the mantra or affirmation you can use if you want to connect with the energy of this crystal this week is, I find pleasure in the simple joys of life. So funny that the first keyword that comes out is simplify, and we have, I find pleasures in the simple joys of life. So cutting through the extraneous and paring things down this week, as far as our communication and just our internal dialogue, I guess, is what I want to say. And then let's talk about our Sunday energy. I like to do this one a little bit separate from the rest of the week. Parrot Spirit. So this is again from that Spirit Animal Oracle deck. This deck is so beautiful. Parrot Spirit says, watch your words. So how much was I just saying about communication, internal and external? So, that sounds kind of ominous, watch your words, but it's not. It's, for one thing, don't be mindful that you're not just parroting back, that you're not just repeating or reacting to the words and communication that's being said to you, that you're actually absorbing it, actually hearing other people, that you're not just going, and then spitting out an answer based on what you think you heard. You're not just parroting a response. So being sure that you are also, as far as simplifying your own communication, after you take in the communication from others, kind of breaking it down. If you get that aforementioned 27 paragraph email from someone else, maybe taking out a sticky note and making some bullet points so that you can respond in a concise and clear way, so you can conserve your energy and you're not running in circles. So Parrot Spirit saying, don't just parrot an answer, really break things down, simplify them, and then watch your words when responding. And also, again, with the internal dialogue, don't get on loop patterns this week. Break things down, simplify things, take a deep breath, and decide, what's my clear and concise story that I want to tell this week. I don't want to just be saying hello, hello, like a parrot all week. I want my internal dialogue to be mindful as well. So then let's go to Monday, which is the Break the Chain card from the Work Your Light Oracle. And this, interesting, says ancestral patterns. So these are things, you could have been doing since childhood, or you could have watched generations before you do. You could have picked up from childhood, could go back further than that to past lives. Break the Chain says healing and rewriting the future. So, what this goes right along with what we've been getting so far about what are the stories we tell? How do we want to make sure we're telling the ones we want to move into, the life we want to create? Which brings us to Tuesday, which is align your life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? And you see this kind of shattering. And I've talked about that, I think, for the past couple of weeks, about this kind of quintessential tower energy. I am not a tarot reader, but it's this kind of crumbling, the tower card in tarot, this kind of crumbling and rebuilding. And last week we got foundations, where there's still a viable foundation. We may have to rework our plans, but we're not starting from scratch. And this is kind of that shattering energy as well, about we're tweaking our alignment. We're not starting from scratch, but we're saying, okay, what is my story at this point, and how do I want to move into that? How do I want to get in alignment to move into what I do want? Wednesday, we have the initiation, same energy. You're going somewhere sacred, you're moving forward. So you can see this is very much a kind of light at the end of the tunnel. It's not even the end of the tunnel, it's just kind of midway, but it opens up and we can see where we're going. So, we're getting into alignment. We're having this kind of, maybe we are reworking what we are building onto that foundation that already exists. We are becoming into alignment with our vision, and then we're moving through this doorway. Thursday, we have the Trust Your Path card. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And so this is something that has come up a lot in the previous week for me about moving forward, and in some private readings lately. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And the fact is, we are supported. We many times put roadblocks in our way, either because our egos want us to think we can't do something. But the real truth of the matter is, we came here to be unlimited beings, and we have all of those resources available to us. It's just how much we want to believe that, and how much we want to come into alignment with the fact that that is true for all of us. So this says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So we have this kind of shattering energy where we come more into alignment. We're moving through into the light of what we do want. And this is just kind of affirmation or reassurance that it is there for us. You can kind of take a leap of faith. And yes, we are having a human experience, and sometimes we will feel as if there are setbacks, and sometimes will feel as if things are not easy. But if we are in alignment with what we want, we are moving down the path of getting there. And the more we kind of surrender and walk through this doorway with the light here, the more we will be easily moved along on that path. So really trusting your path. Knowing that it really, really is available to you. We really, really are unlimited beings, and we came here to experience a variety of lessons, but all of them moving us forward in our soul's growth. And the more we are able to surrender and flow with it, the more quickly we'll get to what we do want. So really, really trusting that everything is available to you, all of the resources you need, and knowing that. So then that moves us to Friday, which is the answer the call card, which I love. What is your soul calling you to do? So if you're still a little, if you've moved this far into the week and you're still having hesitation about what you want to do, or there's something that you have a question about, this says you are on the right path. You know what to do. You know what, when you sit in your body and you sit quietly and you really feel two different situations. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I want to do this? Do I want to move into this career? Whatever it is, you can feel it. It's just a question of our 3 keywords, and just kind of hit me in the head there: simplifying, being concise, conserving your words, conserving your energy, so that you are able to hear what is right for you. And this is kind of unusual. I pulled these 2 cards out of the deck and didn't know why. I set them aside because I did not plan to use them. But interestingly, there is a no card in this deck, and there is a yes card in this deck. And so it just kind of popped into my head after we answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So if anybody wants to play along with this, I've never done this before in a reading, and I didn't even have any idea why I pulled these out and set them aside. But we'll do this after they answer the call, because if you're receiving a call but you're not sure what to do, and you want a concise yes or no, then I want you to, I'm going to shuffle these. I want you to think of your question, think of the issues you're pondering. Really get clear on what it is you're thinking. You can pause this if you need to, but just get a concise, a simple, concise question if there's something you've been wondering about or pondering recently. It can be big, it can be little. And then I'm going to hold these up. Kind of like a pick a card, but a very impromptu pick a card. And I want you to focus on one of the cards. Choose one of the cards, keeping your question in mind. And so if you chose this card, if your intuition is leading you toward this card, then the answer to your question, yes. And if your intuition has led you toward this card based on your question, the answer to your question is no. So just a simple pick a card, very unexpected, but kind of interesting that it comes out after, this card, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So hopefully that was meant for somebody out there. I'm not sure, that's never happened before. So then let's talk about our Saturday energy. After we know what we're doing, we have gotten simple, clear, concise. What do we get on Saturday? The awakening card. And this is like, if you look at the graphic on this, it's like one of complete surrender, which I mentioned just a little while ago. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So this is about, trust. It is that trust, that full surrender energy, knowing you will be led where you are meant to be. You always will be. When you simplify, when you cut out the extraneous chatter, when you stop asking and you go within for your answers, you will always be led where you need to go. And that's all I have this week. So I hope this was meaningful for you. I hope you enjoyed this week's reading, and I will see you next week.